Okay, so I think would be the last part of our discussion for this topic. So let's talk about the potential risk treatments. So under ISO 31000, it also suggests that once risks have been identified and assessed, techniques to manage the risk should be applied, and these techniques can fall into one or more of these four strategies. So we have risk avoidance, risk reduction, risk sharing, and risk retention. So when we say risk avoidance, this includes performing an activity that could carry risk. An example would be not buying a property or business in order not to take on the legal liability that comes with it. Avoiding risk, however, also means losing out on the potential gain that accepting or retaining the risk may have allowed. Not entering a business to avoid the risk of loss also avoids the possibility of earning profits. Kasi nga, di ba, sabi nila, the greater the risk, the greater the return. So, kung mababa yung risk, mababa din yung return. Di ba? Tingnan natin. Ganito, sulat natin. High risk, high return. Okay, that is the rule. Low risk, low return, syempre. Paano naman kung low risk, pwede rin, balik tayo dito, na high risk siya, low return din. Pero what if ano siya, low risk pero high return? May ganun ba? Low risk pero high return. Walang ganyan. That is scam. Scam 'yan. Saan ka nakikita na mababa yung risk tapos mataas yung return, 'di ba? Usually ganun sa mga scam. Yung mag-invest ka lang ng 1,000 o mag-invest ka lang ng ganitong amount tapos sa next week or next day triple na daw 'yon. So parang 'di ba, too good to be true na magiging triple without doing nothing, 'di ba? So that is a scam. So yan ang titignan natin diyan. So pero ang focus natin is risk avoidance, which is if you avoid the risk, then you also you may lose also the potential gain of accepting it. Next is risk reduction. Risk reduction or optimization involves reducing the severity of the loss or the likelihood of the loss from occurring. Optimizing risk means finding a balance between the negative risk and the benefit of the operation or activity, and between risk reduction and effort applied. An example of this is outsourcing, okay? Outsourcing is an example of risk reduction if the outsourcer can demonstrate higher capability of managing or reducing risk. Pag sinabing outsourcing, 'di ba? For example, kailangan mo ng raw materials, 'di ba? Maghanap ka kung saan yung mas mura, mas quality, 'di ba? So you should be able to reduce the risk. Next is risk sharing, means sharing with another party the burden of loss or benefit of gain from a risk and measures to reduce a risk. This is usually nangyayari yung risk sharing natin sa insurance, 'di ba? Kasi yung mga insured, okay, nagkakaroon ng 'di ba iniipon yung kanilang binabayad, and then may fund doon, and then nagkakaroon ng risk sharing, dinidistribute. Kaya nga isa sa mga characteristics ng ating insurance is it is a risk distributing device. Okay. Next is risk retention. It involves accepting the loss or benefit of gain from a risk when it occurs. Self-insurance falls in this category. All risks that are not avoided are transferred or retained by default. Also, any amounts of potential loss over the amount insured is retained risk. This is acceptable if the chance of a very large loss is similar or is small, or if the cost to insure for greater coverage involves a substantial amount that could hinder the goals of the organization. So, risk retention. Siyempre, ibigay tayo ng example, other example. For risk avoidance, ito ang ating illustration. A business owner decides not to open a new restaurant in a location prone by flooding or prone to flooding. So by avoiding this business venture, they completely eliminate the risk of losing money from flood damage or lack of customers due to the location. For example, Dagupan City, di ba? Kung naglagay ka ng business mo doon sa areas na pinataasan yung kalsada, then yung business mo is bababa. So, ang mangyayari doon, prone siya sa flood, kaya gaya ng nangyari ngayon, 'di ba? So, kung iniwasan mo 'yon, Okay, hindi ka nag-invest dun sa area since alam mo yung area is prone sa flood, nagkaroon ka ng risk avoidance. Okay, however, they also give up the potential profit that could they have made if the restaurant has been successful. Next is risk reduction. Okay, reducing the severity. So how a homeowner lives in an area with frequent thunderstorms and high winds. To reduce the risk of their house being damaged, they install storm shutters on all of their windows and trim large tree branches that hang over their roof. So while this doesn't eliminate the possibility of damage, it significantly reduces, 'di ba? Nabawasan yung likelihood or yung impact, potential impact or damage nung storm sa kanilang property. So yun yung tinatawag nating risk reduction. Next is risk sharing. Sharing the burden of a loss or the benefit of a gain with another party. So a group of farmers in a small community faces the risk of crop failure due to drought. Okay, tag to yun. Instead of each farmer individually bearing the full financial loss, they form a cooperative. So nangyari doon, they contribute a small amount of money to a shared fund. If one farmer crops fails, they can receive financial assistance from the fund, effectively sharing the burden of loss among the entire group. So another form, a common example is buying insurance. Yung sinabi ko kanina, when you share the risk with the insurance company for a premium. So, 'di ba, yun naman ang purpose ng cooperative, 'di ba? For the common good of its members. So, yun yung tinatawag nating risk sharing. Dinidistribute yung risk or yung burden of loss among the entire group. And last one is the risk retention, accepting the loss or benefit of a gain from a risk when it occurs. This often applies to risks that are not avoided, transferred, or where the cost to insure is too high. So, example, a large corporation has thousands of office printers. The risk of one or more printers breaking down is very low, and the cost to replace a single printer is minimal compared to the company's overall budget. So instead of buying a separate insurance policy for every single printer, the company decides to accept or retain the risk. So they buy for a certain number of printer replacement each year, self-insuring against this small, predictable risk rather than paying an insurance company. So ginawa, inaccept, di ba? Ni-retain yung risk. Ano yung risk? Risk of buying a new printer kasi nga parang inaccept na nila na every year may masisirang printer, gano'n. So instead of magkaroon sila ng insurance, okay, para sa bawat printer, so mas magastos 'yon kasi hindi mo naman alam, 'di ba? Uncertain kasi na hindi mo naman alam na masisira yung printer o kailan masisira. So 'pag nagbayad ka ng insurance doon, so what if hindi nasira yung printer, di sayang na yung binayad mo dun sa insurance. So ang mangyayari, nagkaroon na lang ng risk acceptance, inaccept na lang yung risk, ni-retain, and ang ginawa na lang is nagkaroon na lang printer replacements every a year. So yon. So that would be our discussion for risk management, and I will be assigning the other part of this video lecture or of this handout or book for your reading assignment. Okay, and okay, please look abangan nyo na lang yung ating activity sa ating Google Classroom. And that's end for the lecture for this risk management, and see you on the next chapter.